The big news on the weekend was Elliot Friedman saying that Tyson Barrie has been given the green light by the Nashville Predators to start negotiating with other teams. This is interesting. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Maple Leafs' continuing search for help on the blue, and we're also going to talk about the latest with Ethan Bear. Coming up next on NHL Rumors. Okay, let's talk about Tyson Barrie. Barrie came over to the Nashville Predators last year in that big deal for Matthias Ekholm. It was kind of a throw-in, a cap situation where they wanted to clear some cap space on the Oil side. Barrie actually had a pretty good year. He had 55 points, good enough for 14th overall. -7, that's not a surprise. Barrie's not the best defensive defenseman, but he does bring a lot offensively for sure. And again, this year, 22 games, he has 9 points and a -5, but for whatever reason, Andrew Brunette and Barry Trotz have decided to move on from Barrie. Now, Barrie is a UFA at the end of the season. Maybe they're thinking that, you know what, if we get ahead of the trade deadline and get with some teams that need some help on the power play, maybe we can get more for Barrie. So maybe that's what it's all about. In any case, he's talking to a number of teams. The teams that you would expect him to go calling to would be the ones that are struggling on the power play. Of course, topping the list is the Washington Capitals, the Caps with an unbelievable 8.3% power play success rate. That's hard to believe when you've got, of course, Alexander Ovechkin, John Carlson, and others on the PP, but just not working for them this year. And despite that, they're very much in the playoff hunt. So perhaps shoring up their power play would make a good ad for the Caps. Another team that's struggling on the power play, very much in the playoff discussion, currently sitting in a wild card spot, are the Blues. The Blues, of course, sitting at 10% on the power play, so they need help too. A guy like Barrie could certainly make a difference for them. And finally, I want to talk about the Calgary Flames. Of course, the Flames, a team that definitely is probably looking to get some help on the power play, sitting at 12.8%. They do have some cap space now, of course, moving out Zadorov. They've got some cash and maybe an opening on the blue. So I think Barrie will probably talk to the Flames as well. All this kind of just getting started, so we'll follow it and see where it goes with Tyson Barrie. With the Maple Leafs, I wanted to talk just for a minute about the Leafs situation. Of course, they continue to struggle with injuries. John Klingberg and Timothy Liljegren currently out. The big question is, Klingberg going to be out for a long time or not? If he's going to be out for an extended period, he'll go on to LTIR, and that'll free up some cash for the Maple Leafs to get a deal done. In any case, they're going to be looking to get some help on the blue later, for sure, at the trade deadline, but if they can move sooner than later, I think the Leafs would be happy to do so. They've been rumored around a couple of guys. Chris Tanev, of course, with the Flames is the one that they talk about a lot. I think the challenge with Tanev is going to be whether or not the Flames are willing to give him up right now. They're very much in the playoff hunt. Tanev is a rock on their blue. He is a UFA at the end of the season, but boy, they got to keep pressing on to try to get in the playoffs, and who knows about the future. Maybe he'll re-sign with them going forward. In any case, he's the guy at the top of the list for the Leafs. He's a solid defenseman, 12 out of 13 years a plus player. He checks in at 6'2" and 200 pounds. He's just rock solid, and he'd be an outstanding ad. But I just think it's a little bit early to expect that Tanev will be available from the Flames. The guy that is available that we do hear frequently is Andrew Peeke with Columbus. 6'3", 200-pound guy. He's a big, solid right-hand shot D player as well. He fits the mold of what the Leafs are looking for. The biggest gotcha there is he's not playing right now. He does not have the confidence of the Jackets, so he's sitting on the sidelines. Only played 4 games this year. The other thing is he had a -41 last year, one of the worst numbers in the league. But again, previously, I think Peeke had some decent numbers, so maybe that was a bit of an outlier last year. But in any case, as a big guy in the blue, right-hand shot, and defensively responsible generally, he might be a good ad for the Leafs as well. In any case, the other guy I wanted to talk about is Ethan Bear. Bear continues his rehab in Kelowna. Apparently that's going well, but sounds like more teams are getting interested in Bear. Bear would come in as an easy ad. They don't have to trade for him. He's a low-cost guy. Apparently he's looking for a 1-year deal at $1 million prorated. That's outstanding. So there could be a number of teams calling, as I mentioned. Teams that might be in the mix would the Edmonton Oilers consider bringing back Bear. Of course, he played well for them at different times before being traded to the Hurricanes for Warren Foegele, so he might be an option. How about the Calgary Flames? The Flames just moving out Zadorov have an opening on the blue. Barrie would come in cheap and certainly could help them as a right-hand shot D player. The other teams that I think might be in the mix, of course, we mentioned the Vancouver Canucks numerous times. Apparently the Canucks supposedly are at the top of the list. They are very much still interested in Barrie, despite the fact they did get Zadorov. Could they be looking for another big guy back on the blue? I don't think it would be a bad decision for the Canucks right now. They're playing extremely well, and to be able to strengthen their blue line would be awesome. The other team that I think is in the mix is the Arizona Coyotes. The Coyotes, of course, very much in the playoff hunt. They won 4 in a row. They're playing extremely well. And Bill Armstrong, GM of the Coyotes, has said, I want to strengthen that blue line, and a guy like Barrie might be a good add. He's a big guy that can come in. He's good with the puck. And, of course, he might be a longer-term player for them if he has a good run with them this year. He's still young enough to be signed to a long-term deal with Arizona. In any case, lots happening on the D side. We're going to pick up goaltenders later this week, and we'll keep you totally up to date on all the latest rumors right here on stormTRacker.